Mega awesome man. What is your criteria for seeking out unbiased reporting, and what do you use to make sure that's the case for what news you consume? It's impossible to do. What you have to do these days, mate, for a media diet, to make sure you are getting it right, you have to look at the publication, you have to know which way they lie in the first place, and then you have to read it through that lens. Then you have to make a mental note of all of the details contained within the story, particularly how those details are framed. And then you have to imagine what details could be omitted to balance out the story. Then you have to go and read the same story on the other side of the aisle. So, you might do MSNBC versus Fox, or, fucking whatever. And then you have to look at the details that they lead front and center in their framing of the story, and any details they could have omitted. Then you have to kind of compare the two. Then you have to wade into the shit show that's fucking social media, and then you have to look at what people are tweeting about it, and you have to look at the fucking reactionary garbage, and then you have to somehow pick apart all of that reactionary garbage, and somewhere in there will be an expert, an actual expert in the field. Not that they're right about everything, but they might just be right about this one particular story. They might know what they're talking about, and they might point you down a rabbit hole of like, actually, this is true, and this is true, and this is true. And then you have to look at where they're pointing you, and you have to go down that rabbit hole. And then you have to take those facts, and you have to go, and you have to look up the sources for those facts, and confirm those facts, and then compare and contrast those facts to the original two stories that you compared with. And you have to do this religiously for every story, or you're likely misinformed. And that is why engaging in with news is so difficult, and this is why the government wants to seduce you into thinking, listen, misinformation's super dangerous. But don't worry, we get it's complicated. It's not on you to do that, to go through that process he just described. What we'll do is we'll just censor the misinformation before you get to it. And that's how you end up with the garbage like we had on Twitter, where everything that didn't behoove the DNC was fucking deleted, and anyone that voted Republican was facing issues. And then obviously shit like Reddit. I mean, Reddit is the most astroturfed shithole I've ever seen of any website on the internet. None of it is genuine. You even see the same comment chains months apart in different threads, all saying the same thing across partisan lines. And so it is super. By the way, it's why I stopped doing Enemy of the People, talking about that. That is fucking exhausting. The research for that is insane. And the juice is never worth the squeeze because it always gets demonetized. So to try and make that work, it's like I would need at least one other person to help lighten that load. And I'll still produce an episode of it in the future. I've outlined a ton, but it's just getting into the research and scripting it, and then fucking, actually delivering on it. And by the way, let me tell you, here's the grim reality about actual fact-checking. Not fact-checking like it was weaponized by journalists in the Trump era. I'm talking about actually checking the facts of a story and trying to put it in a digestible format for people to understand. They won't believe it anyway. If you go to someone, oh, hey, you were wrong about this story about Donald Trump, this is why. They go, yeah, but I hate Trump, so I don't care. And you go, okay, cool story. And it's the same the other way. Margot World's just as stupid. Fucking cat turd is never going to have a come to Jesus moment about like, oh yeah, actually maybe Trump did do some fucked up things. They're not. He's, people like that in Margot World are one step away from fucking self-immolation for the orange man. They're all fucking crazy. So you can do all the fact checking you want in the world and get the fucking truth, but it just doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. That's the reality. So, this is, and by the way, this is all by design. The new modern media landscape is designed to not only exhaust you and exhaust your patience as you try and find the facts, it is designed to drive you down one ideological path, and only one, and to obfuscate the possibility that there might even be another version. That's how it works these days. And if you don't, if you don't engage with that, yeah, it's like super difficult and it's super jarring. So the answer to your question, very succinctly, is you have to consume everything all the time, be terminally online, and make sure that before you commit to a position, you've at least done something beyond the nominal reading of a headline.
I let you off once before, but you still got the nerve to come back here and